Let's freaking go. Let's have a good time tonight. Obviously, we have a lot to get to in such a little bit of time. What are we talking about? We have all night, baby. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to Leandria, who says Jayden Daniels is not the answer. But this is something that I get all the time. LSU needs another transfer portal quarterback. I hear it all the time. We need another QB. We cannot trust Miles Brennan to stay healthy. I hear it. But is Jayden Daniels somebody that you think could come in and clear cut be the best quarterback in the room? And just based on what we've seen up to this point, I don't know. Now, he hasn't had the absolute best coaching in the world. Obviously, Arizona State has been a mess, but that's obviously one of the big stories tonight because you look at all these different stories surrounding the LSU quarterback room, and this is the number one question that I get. It really is. We need another quarterback. We can't trust Miles Brennan to be healthy. I just don't think Jayden Daniels would be all that interested. I think he's going to want to go somewhere where he could play right away. But still, we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. Obviously, the poll question attached to the beginning of tonight's video: is LSU a top 3 team entering 2022? Let me know. Okay. We say hi to Skipper. We say hi to Jared, who was the first person in here. Chef Leandria is our Jayden Daniels expert, and he says we should stay away. And look at him and his beautiful significant other. Skipper is in the house, holding down the Billy Cannon and PHL shirt. I have to say, Skipper's avatar is probably number one. I haven't seen Greg in here enough. He used to have the number one avatar, but Skipper's avatar is now number one. I want to officially say that because Skipper is rocking the PHL gear and one of my favorite cards that I was happy to give away to a true PHLer. It was good seeing RD, the mayonnaise kid, a little bit earlier today. Who dat? What's good? We don't know what Brennan would throw because he's never healthy. Let's go to our first super chatter. It is none other than the president of the New York City chapter of PHL, Max. Build that monster up front, especially on the D-line, so we take pressure off the secondary. So go get that transfer defensive end from TCU, also the OT from Vandy. So Max watched our video from yesterday, and yes, I am all in on going after Kari Coleman, who is initially from New Orleans, and of course, the offensive tackle from Vanderbilt, who obviously would help out LSU right away. He is currently being courted by all these different schools, including Alabama. So we'll see what happens with that young man. And yeah, it's interesting because obviously Tremont Shorts and Miles Frazier have already transferred over, but it looks as if this guy would start right away. So once again, keep that in mind that the transfer portal is still in its early stages. LSU still has slots remaining in the transfer portal, and you can just, of course, pick up anybody in the portal, especially if you have 4 slots remaining. And I honestly think the slots are going to end up being a really good thing for LSU. What's up, Hippa? How you doing? 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I don't get the hype. John says, I like Jayden Daniels. Maybe, just maybe, it was the offense. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't him. Maybe it wasn't his fault that the offense never really got going out west. I'd take Jayden Daniels over what we have because we don't know what we have right now. Brett says Tiger baseball. I wish I could give you some Tiger baseball analysis, but I keep it LSU football on here. But welcome, Brett. Good to see you. I don't even know when the first pitch is. I think it's Friday. I've never heard of the QB kid, Jayden Daniels. Don't worry, I got you. I've seen him play quite a bit. There would be some games where he would go out there and do really special things. Obviously, he is a dual threat quarterback, not a huge frame, pretty good arm though. But yeah, I'm not necessarily on fire about the idea because if you do go get a transfer portal quarterback, he's going to have to be way better than Miles Brennan because once again, if a transfer portal quarterback comes to LSU, he's going to want to play. So, it's pretty simple. Chris 606 says, let's pass on this QB. PLG says, sticking with Brennan all the ways. Also, I'm very excited for baseball. Do you really want to waste a spot on someone who has a 500 TD INT ratio? Oh, yeah. John says he's in on the Jayden Daniels hype train. But, yeah, focusing on guys that could help right away. Tyler Steen, the tackle from Vanderbilt, and Kari Coleman are two guys that would immediately be rotation guys, and Steen would probably start. How much better is he than Miles Frazier? I don't know, but you could start them both at offensive tackle. I went back and rewatched Cam Wire's tape from last year, and it was probably a lot worse than I thought it was going to be as far as him as an offensive tackle. I still like him, though, as an offensive guard. So if you get Tyler Steen, you start him at one tackle, and then you start Miles Frazier at the other, and then all you got to do is sort out the middle. But then I say all you got to do, it's still not as easy as it probably sounds. Darius Jones and Malik Neighbors are going to have big years. I like it. And obviously, of the two names right there, Max, Malik is going to excuse me, Malik's going to have the more than likely bigger year of those two. But if we're being honest, the position of need that is way bigger is corner. And Darius Jones is that guy who could be a number one or number two corner. Now, we've seen very little, but if there was ever a year LSU just needed a sleeper corner to come out of nowhere, this would be the year. Right? Especially with Dwight McGlothern into the transfer portal. Now, I know we are very high on Jarek Bernard-Converse and the transfer from Louisville, from UL. So, yeah, it just comes down to can Darius Jones be so good that he finds a way on the field? And, the simple truth is, there's going to be snaps to go around, right? LSU right now is probably asking that question. Where will our production at corner come from? And I just don't know the answer to that question. They only have 4 transfer spots left. After the spring, some really good players will be available. Save some space for those guys. Just don't sign players because we have open spots. I agree with that. But, Kyle, on the contrary, since you do have 4 slots, you can be aggressive as well. Like if you really want to take a flyer on a kid, go right on ahead because you still have 4 slots remaining. Now, if you only had 1 or 2 slots, you would need to be a little bit more cautious with what you would do. But we'll see. Also, a big X factor going into this spring, and we really haven't talked a whole lot about him, is Major Burns, right? And that's the kind of scary thing as we lead into this next spring practice is, and this seems to be a thing that happens a lot at LSU, right? You get into this middle phase where there's a lot of guys that you saw play. They weren't necessarily great, but they weren't necessarily just good, awful either, right? So like one of those players would be like a Major Burns, right? Major Burns had some issues tackling early on, but once again, when you ran the scheme that LSU did for the first half of the season, it's really freaking hard to play safety when the quarterback knows where you are at all times. But Major Burns is a guy that's very interesting. I know he's going to be really hungry, especially knowing that he left the university that just won a national championship. So, he's going to be motivated to prove his decision to be right. Plus, he is a Baton Rouge kid. Um, so we'll see. I think I think there is a lot to want out of a guy like that. If Miles stays healthy, I believe we can be 9-3 or better. Max says, I've been a Ray Darius fan since the Florida game. I've been saying let's get him on that you-know-what field. Did we ever figure out why McLaughlin transferred? Kind of strange. It's a good question, Chris606. I can say this. There was something that happened. There was some form of disagreement from what I understand. This happens all the time. You could, what was funny was when Corey Raymond left, Dwight McLaughlin was one of the first ones to tweet, "We are still DBU." And he then also left. So, when coaches come in and out, players are going to come in and out, and they're going to go elsewhere. And they're well within their right to do that. And McLaughlin gets to play at another good program like Arkansas. So, good for him. I don't quite get it either, though, because he would have been a very likely starter next year for the premier program when it comes to playing defensive back. Max, our first and only super chatter up to this point. I like Major Burns, and I could see him having a massive improvement. I hope you're right. Obviously, playing that free safety role. Is he a free safety? Is he a strong safety? Is he just a special teamer? We don't know, right? I think he's also very hungry because he also got hurt last year. And I keep going back to this. This has been 2 years in a row where LSU's defensive backfield just had so many injuries. So even if Major Burns doesn't start, he would provide some much needed depth. How does Todd Harris fit into this equation? How does Jay Ward fit into this equation? Their safety tape last year wasn't great. Do they take a huge step forward? Maybe new defensive back coaches take them to the next level. You never really know. Chris, just shoot me a message on Twitter. I don't know what happened with the cup. I saw your message from earlier. We have to see where we are after the spring. We don't have any spots available at this moment. We are at our 81 limit for this year already. We have 4 scholarships left, but no room on the roster. I didn't know we were at our 81 already. I thought we were way under. I guess I got to go do a count. That's a really good point, Chris. I had no idea we were already at the 81 player number. I thought we were way below that. Not way below. I thought we were at least in the 70s. But for those that don't know, normally in college football, you have an 85-person scholarship roster, but because of the sanctions that LSU self-imposed on itself, it is down to 81 for the next 2 seasons. We're over, actually, I'm pretty sure. That's very interesting. I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue. I thought we were way under, but I haven't done a specific count. I guess I should because of all the transfers coming in. I trust Jay Ward as much as I trust Eli Apple. Jay's a good player. He's won us some football games. It's just at safety, his tackling this past year just wasn't that great. His Hail Mary defense versus Florida was also not great either. But, it was his first year playing the position, and obviously, it didn't go the way that he probably thought it was going to go. Yeah, we were at 79 after National Signing Day. Very interesting. I honestly had no clue. I thought we were way below that. So I appreciate it. That's why I love you guys. What's up, Cliff? Good to see you, Prez. Al says, did you see that video where ASU ex teammates were cleaning out Jayden's locker room? Didn't seem like they were going to miss him. Yeah, and the ironic thing about it was the person who leaked that video was former LSU defensive end Trevez Moore. So why would you leak a video of trashing a transfer kid when you yourself transferred as well? It seems like it's a little hypocritical, but teach their own. I think what really sucks about the Jayden Daniels transfer from an Arizona State standpoint is that it happened so late, right? Because there was rumors about him transferring, and then he said, "No, I'm going to stay." But now he decides to actually transfer, and by doing that, all these other quarterbacks have already made their decisions. So you miss out on all these QBs you could have potentially got. So that's what really sucks about it from Arizona State standpoint. But honestly, the program's a mess. Herm Edwards is not, first off, not been a really good coach in game. And you know, obviously they have a lot of sanctions heading their way as well. Yeah, Pegasus. I don't know. I mean, first off, I mean, I don't know Trevez Moore all that well. I don't get the point of posting that video. It just doesn't make any sense because why would any kid want to come to your university if there seems to be locker room mutiny? I don't know. But yes, Jayden Daniels did screw over Arizona State. There's no other way around it because they really needed him next year. What's going on, Tracy and Tommy? Mm. I trust Jay Ward, just not at safety. I agree. I could see him moving back to nickel. I could see him moving back to traditional corner. I also want to share this as well. Not all these transfers are going to be good, right? Some of them are just not going to be good. You're just not going to hit on all of them. You just feel a lot better about them, though, is because they have had some success and some experience. So we'll see. Hopefully, a lot of them do turn out to be great. Yeah, Max, I don't know the full story. I know it was some recruiting stuff, but you know, once again, I'm not an ASU expert. It does kind of suck though to be an Arizona State fan, right? Because your sports really don't have any history, right? They've never won anything in basketball. You do have James Harden. Weren't they a good baseball program at some point? I don't know. And then in football, they've never done anything really either. Ryan says Jay Ward was a decent safety. And I'll say this, he was decent. I'm fine with decent, but you know, the tackling was so inconsistent. I think the UCLA game really hurt him. I really do think when he got trucked in that game, it banged him up a little bit more, we would like to think. And I think psychologically that got to him a little bit. So we'll see. The main thing with the transfers is that they want to be here. We don't have to worry about them quitting on us. Yeah, Rodney, but the thing that, once again, I haven't done a roster count. The thing is, we know that they still have 4 slots left to go, but what I'm getting from, you know, Chris and a few other viewers on the channel is that we're already at 81 players for this next year. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what what exactly is going to happen with this roster. I got to put this at the bottom. Guys, I got some good news. T-shirts are currently being printed right now. And you want to join the PHL shirt club, right? Just like Skipper, just like Tracy and Tommy. Okay, this is right. All right. They were having recruits visit campus during the beginning of the Rona when everyone was shut down. That is true. I do remember that, right? I do remember that was one of the things. But I vaguely remember reading what happened. We'll probably lose some to the portal after the spring. I could see that as well. So a few of you have asked about what's the deal with Herm Edwards. Why hasn't he gotten fired? It's because of this. So ASU, the reason why Herm Edwards was such a hire out of left field is I believe Herm Edwards' agent was the one who became the athletic director at Arizona State, or Herm Edwards' agent was a good friend of the athletic director, and that's why Herm Edwards got the Arizona State job, and that's why we are where we are. Let's see here. Say hi to Mark. Say hi to who dat? Kyle, PLG, good to see you. PLG, one of our younger viewers. Once again, Jared, he's got to have a top 5 shirt. Oh, Mick, we're not even close to 10K subs. I only post that because you got to reach for the stars, baby. Now, I'm a slow and steady wins the race channel. Now, if I was a really hot female, that would help out my growth, but that is not in my repertoire anytime soon. Daniel's perfect fit for the Denbrock offense, plays like Ritter. Interesting. So I will say this. Jayden Daniels would bring in the zone read aspect to LSU's offense if you were to come over. Once again, there's no reports about where Daniels is currently liking his next stop. I would like to think that he's going to stay on the West Coast. Okay. With that said, this is true, right? You look at what Cincinnati did versus Alabama, a lot of their success came from the zone read game. And look, when we beat our best teams in 2019 and just in the past in general, a lot of our wins over Saban's Alabama teams came down to quarterback mobility, right? The ability to make plays with your legs, and Jayden Daniels has that ability, and Miles Brennan doesn't. Now, I do think Miles can be a little bit more potent with his legs, even though he doesn't run a 4.5. He just gave you nothing with his legs at all in 2020 in the few games that he played. Ryan, I appreciate you. Just become a VTuber, the simps would come. I don't know what a VTuber is, but I do need to I do believe I need to show off more of my body. That is what I need to do. I need to show off my this godlike figure with the world. I got exactly 69 viewers, now 70. So yeah. Obviously, hit the like button. If this just happens to be your first time watching the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're LSU football all the time. And if you're not a diehard LSU football fan, or if you're not a diehard SEC fan, this channel is probably not for you. Okay? 69, baby. Nice. Nice. I really like Jayden Daniels from the times I've seen him, but I admit I didn't watch him last year. Didn't miss much. I saw that my Pelicans got beat down tonight. I did not get to watch. I had some college games to do. Look. Some Jayden Daniels stats. And there you go. So 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, QBR 67.2, which isn't bad considering what those numbers show. Let's go to this right here. And you could see he gives you something as a runner. And here at the bottom, last year was his best year as a runner, 2021, where he ran for 710 yards. But it's not good when you see he had 2 solo tackles. But still, there you go. Those are Jayden Daniels' 3 years. He's regressed. Good to see Big Allen here, the treasurer of PHL. Everyone's loving to see Big Al. Gary, good to see you. Welcome to the channel. Everyone, welcome Gary Godaroff. LSU is overlooked. Brian Kelly will right the ship. All right, Mick. Night, man. We'll see you on Saturday night. I really doubt many people are going to come close to beating Bama this year. Last year was supposed to be a down year, and they still made the Natty. Bama might lose one. Yeah, Max. So once again, our poll question still remains the same. LSU top 3 team in the SEC next year. I want everyone right now. I want to see which one of you, since Max is our only super chatter, we'll go on to Max's topic here. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Is LSU a top 3 team in the SEC next year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want to see which one of you believes LSU is going to be a top 3 team in the SEC. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Ron says no. Good to see you, Ron. Gary says yes. Brandon Lewis says yes. Pegasus says no. The old vet followed the instructions. Of course it's possible. Jared says top 1. RD, it was good seeing you tonight, my friend. Cliff says no. The old vet says, well, I'm an old vet. I don't follow instructions. There you go, Gary. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, Gary, you might as well do it, my friend. Let's see. Still waiting on everybody to answer. Max says top 5 by the end of the year. I like that. You are what you say you are. And what's that? A superstar. How you feel? What a great song. Top 4. There you are, King Robert. Good to see you, my friend. Jared with the super chat. Jared, you get to pick the next topic. LSU shocks the world, beat Bama like a dream. Jared, I know you're loving that comment from Gary. That's a true fan there. Love it. Don't be a stinking fan like me. Let's see. King Roberto. I know, Jared. I'm just shining you out, my friend. Jared. So I want to show you all this. Look at me and RD, the mayonnaise kid. Good seeing you earlier tonight. And look at that booger band right there in the background. You can't beat that booger band. Look at that booger band right there. Thing of beauty. Look at that. Good times. But this one I wanted to show you. First off, really good graphic here. This was shared by Jamar Kane, the defensive line coach. And the spring game is set for April 23rd with the Pro Day, which is actually the most important day of the spring for our future NFL Tigers, for April 6th. Practice dates March 24, 26, 29, 31, 2, 5, 7, 9, 12, 14, 16, 19, 21, 22, and 23. Cliff wants to talk Miles Brennan. He is the president of PHL. Brennan has the arm talent to beat any team without his legs, given good protection. His ability to stretch a field should also open up the running game. That is true. Thank you, King Robert, for the very generous super chat. We appreciate you. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I remember when Miles played him short armed some throws looking lost and made a ton of unnecessary decisions. Well, Pegasus, you are in luck. I have done a film study on every single Miles Brennan throw, and I can assure you that you're partially right. Okay, so Miles, the Mississippi State game was really bad in terms of that. He had a QBR of 42, and he did short arm a few throws to Jere Jenkins. Now, his protection wasn't really the absolute best in any of his 3 games outside of the Vanderbilt game, and Vanderbilt was so bad that year. Still, it's just true. Miles really balled out in his 3 games, right? The Missouri game was legit one of the best non-Burrow quarterback performances we've seen. He threw for over 400 yards. He hit Terrace Marshall in stride. He made some very difficult throws. He made some throws on the run. He got hit a bunch. He had some drops. He hit Torrey Carter on a big touchdown to start the 4th quarter, and Torrey dropped it. It hit him right in the hands. What's up, Kobe? Good to see you. Let's go to the super chat. Jared, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate you, my friend. Thoughts on mock draft having Stingley as the 3rd best cornerback? This is blasphemy, but Damone as the 4th best middle linebacker. So I don't know which mock draft you're seeing, Max. I think every single mock draft, I have right now has shown Derek Stingley being a top 10 pick. But if you are, and some NFL evaluators are like this, they use their most recent film on a prospect. And if you just go by the most recent film, Sauce Gardner should be your first corner because he was the best corner in college football last year, in my mind. So, yeah, I'm all in on Sauce Gardner. I think he's going to be one of the better players in the, and I'm kind of hoping he falls to the Bengals at 31. I know they want to get a bunch of offensive linemen. Um, so yeah. Oh man. So George, King Robert, I just saw that, man. I hope you get well soon. So this is kind of crazy, right? So I'm very lucky to, call myself a YouTuber, right? So it's funny, I get to know so many of you personally, people that have watched the channel for a while. Robert, Jared, Max, Cliff. I'm related to Cliff, but Carvis, a lot of you that I get to, see, I get to know a lot about you. Like, for instance, for those that don't know, Carvis is a PhD student in Florida. So it's really cool, right? What's really funny though is, I look forward to seeing so many of you. And so tomorrow I'm going to start looking for venues for us to hang out the Friday night before the Florida State game in New Orleans. And we need to make sure everyone's there because I want to meet so many of you at that first one. So I'm currently working all that out. Hopefully we can get that ironed out within the next month or so. And then we can already start planning and all that stuff to have a pretty cool event. Greg, we were talking about you earlier. Greg is one of the top 5 avatars of PHL. So my top 3 avatars on PHL, it's Greg, it's Jared, and it's Skipper. Okay. Skipper has moved to number 1 because his avatar is him wearing an LSU shirt, a PHL shirt, our newest shirt, and his Billy Cannon card that I gave him. Okay. Jared has the number 3 avatar with the STTDB, and Greg has the number 2 avatar. Avatars from Tiger Stadium are always going to be up there. So our number 2 avatars in here. Master Blaster's probably in the top 5 with the Fournette flex. Look at that. Look at the Master. Master. Max, I've never bugged you about changing your avatar. I'm coming to New York to come see you. So, Max, be ready. I'm coming to crash at your apartment or house. You might have a house. It's New York, though. Max, do you have a futon I could sleep on? I know how to take the subways. Where are we going to go? We're going to go see Broadway. We're going to go to Central Park. Have that apartment ready for me, Max. And plus, you're young, and Max, you're in your mid-20s. So we're bar hopping, baby. We're going to some Irish pubs, eating wings, drinking beers, hanging out with the bros. Yeah, sauce is good. It's a sucky thing, though, for Cincinnati, right? Their secondary wasn't the problem, right? Their secondary played fine. It was everything else. But their corners were good. Now I'm 22. I'm not old enough to go to a Broadway show. We going clubbing. New York City clubbing is different, right? Rodney, thank you for the super chat. I love this avatar too. The little one, he's got the leg sleeves. I like it. Good to protect against that turf. The only thing your kid needs here, Rodney, is the turf tape. You know, the Alvin Kamara turf tape. Harold Perkins wears that turf tape as well. You guys know what I'm talking about? Uh-oh. Paris. You already know Paris. Big Al's in here. Big Al, every time Big Al's in here. Where's Paris? So the reason why Paris hasn't been hanging out with us is that she is a Duke fangirl, and she's been having to watch every second of every game, knowing that this is Coach K's last year. I've already shared this with Paris once before. What's good, Dev? Dev gives me positive vibes. Every time Dev comments on like just our normal videos, he's like, this is one of the best YouTube channels out there. It gets me really excited, man, because Dev has the icy forces on his feet, baby. Let's go. But anyway, I got to produce Coach K's radio show for 1 year, and that was the John Shire National Championship team. It was John Shire, Nolan Smith, Kyle Singler, probably his least talented title team. And Coach K was a blast to work with. I would love to one day tell him that, because I never actually got to meet him. But still, it'd be cool to get to meet Coach K one day. But yeah, best of luck to him and whatever he does. Yeah, this is last year. He's doing the go away tour. George, I think it's going to be Kayshawn. There's Carlos right there. Carlos is taking over Dev's job. This is the best LSU tuber on the planet. Let's go. Welcome to the channel, Carlos. I think this is your first live stream, Carlos. Good to see you. Everyone show Carlos some love. Make him feel great. Gary is also, I believe, a first-time commenter. Good to see you. I would love to see your beautiful faces instead of the letter avatar. Makes it easier for me to see you. Man, I should get this framed right here. Best LSU tuber on the planet. YouTuber, not actual tuber. I've never gotten to go tubing on a lake. I need Nick Saban to take me tubing on a lake. Now I don't know if Nick would ever take me, but he takes his best players every year. I want to go tubing. I've never gotten to go tubing. I tried the wakeboarding stuff. I couldn't get up. Couldn't get up one time. Couldn't get up. I tried. But still. Oh yeah, Rodney, you get to pick the next topic. You super chatted. YouTuber, tuber, Uber, regardless of best. I love it. You know what's funny, Carlos? So when I was in LA, it's crazy. It's crazy. Ubers will bleed you dry in LA. Bleed you dry. I was going to rent a car, but I'm so glad I didn't, right? Because driving could be stressful. And the funny thing about it, one of the most expensive sports car collectors in the world, his name is Nat Turner. He had $1 million of sports cards stolen from his car in a rental, and he was in a private gated neighborhood staying with a friend. And by the way, I gave this out during the last stream, or actually this was a few streams ago. Last stream, we gave out a Josh Reed rookie card. What are we going to give out tonight? Let's see. But anyway, he had every card returned to him. The police were able to catch him pretty quickly, and every card was returned. And yeah. Oh, yeah. If you buy a t-shirt tonight, boom, Joey B, it's going to you. Anyone else seeing this Smith and Jigma mess over Kayshawn? I think it's fair. I think Kayshawn's better than him, but Jackson Smith and Jigma is a really good football player. I mean, he only had the best Rose Bowl game of all time. Thank you, Roger. Oh, well, Roger just joined the T-shirt club. There you go, Roger. Congratulations. Boom. Perfect. You're getting the Joe Burrow shirt. You're getting the Joe Burrow card. What do you do with all the sticks of gum that come in the card packs? I wish I had enough money to buy card packs now. They're so expensive. Rodney, how many home runs do you think LSU hits on opening day? Once again, I cheer for LSU baseball. I couldn't tell you one player on the team. What is it? Jayden Hill. Is he still on the team? Jayden Hill. I don't know. Lewis Coleman, Anthony Renato, Alex Bregman, Sean Ochenko. I remember the 09 championship team. I remember going to Omaha and getting to stay there the full 3 weeks. I don't know anything. I couldn't. Rodney, I wish I could help you. There's plenty of good. Blake at Are You Serious is really good at baseball coverage. There's plenty of people that know way more about it than I do. 9 touchdowns in 5 games by Kayshawn is insane, especially as Max is our QB. So big say so. Let me share something with you. I started doing some dynasty college drafting. And what's interesting is it's a pretty near consensus that the dynasty nerds all think Kayshawn is better than JSN, right? I'm down. I would take Kayshawn over Jackson Smith and Jigba too. I would. But let's be honest. If the shoe was on the other foot, and it was Kayshawn who had a 300-yard game in the Rose Bowl when the team really needed him, we would our narrative would be a little bit different, right? So I'm fine with either one. I think they are in a class of their own. And then after that, I don't know. I think also big say so. There's going to be a bunch of people that say, well, what about Jordan Addison? He only just won the Biletnikoff, and we'll see. But he lost his wide receiver coach, Brennan Marion, who went to Texas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. PHL meetup in Omaha. Let's see here. Yeah, Ron, you get to pick the next topic. There you are, Tommy. Good to see you. No, okay. So, I mean, Olave better than Chase. Yeah, but that's actually ridiculous, right? Chris Olave isn't as good as Jackson Smith and Jigba, though, right? I mean, Jamar was just on a different level. But I don't know. I think JSN and Kayshawn are close. I do. And that's not an anti-Kayshawn message at all. It's just, number 11 for Ohio State's a really good football player. A really good football player. Let's see. Scooby says LSU beating Bama at home this year. I'm down. I can get down with that. Scooby, you're on my level right now. I love it. I freaking love it. You're my boy, Scoob. I love it. Scooby's like, look, forget the first 8 games of the year. Forget this one game at a time mess. Let's jump to November. I freaking love it. So Rodney Super Chatty wants to talk about 2023 running backs. I'm down with it. Trey Holly for 2023. So here's what I'll do. We've talked about Trey Holly a lot. If you want a deeper dive, we actually had a Trey Holly expert last Thursday as our guest, Sean Fox, who just killed it. And he's watched every game Trey Holly has played basically up to this point. Caleb Jackson's very interesting. I don't know a whole lot about him. Today, actually, Rodney, I spent about an hour looking at Tackett Curtis, right? So I've got a lot of messages about Tackett Curtis. He is a 4-star top 100 linebacker at Manny, Louisiana. And, it's a 2A school right outside of Shreveport, about an hour south of Shreveport, I believe. And he plays everything for them. So he plays quarterback, he plays safety, he plays running back, he plays linebacker, and they view him as a linebacker at the next level. So, kind of sort of the same scenario with a Harold Perkins per se. They're not even close to being the same player, but it's one of those things where he plays 1,000 different positions during the game. So, I watched Tackett Curtis play quite a bit today. And it's a very interesting tape in that he is obviously very athletic. He is a headhunter. He really can end people. He is a ferocious hitter. But for me, it's very interesting how they use him. So they line him up at safety, and they just on every snap tell him to attack as hard as you can where the football is going and destroy a human soul, which is something obviously you're not going to be able to do at the college level, right? It's a completely different thing. So what he's doing at the high school level is not what you can do at the college level, where it's just not something that happens. So he obviously has the skills to play linebacker, but as far as wherever he goes, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. I could see him being a like an outside 3-4 linebacker with the speed and his frame. But he's a very interesting prospect, and he's looking at going everywhere. Right, this is going to be a tough one to keep in state. So we'll see. I can also see him being a tight end as well. But I think he wants to play defense. I think that's his preferred position. There you go. Pierce's biggest fan right there, Big Al. Big Al's like, hey, I'm the treasurer of PHL, one game at a time. One game at a time. That's always better with Paris. Just look at that smile, guys. Look at that smile. Thing of beauty. Paris, the queen of PHL's Velvet Taco fan club. Can't wait till I'm in Atlanta with Hey, and we're going to meet up with Paris, go get some Velvet Tacos. Keep hearing we need offensive tight ends. We do, Tommy, in the worst way, especially if we want BK to be able to run the offense. Greg, where have you been? I know Greg jumped in here a little bit earlier. But yeah, I mean, I got to show Dev some love. Every time Dev's in here, he's like, Carter's the GOAT when it comes to LSU YouTube. And that is exactly what I needed after today. It's been kind of a crappy day once again. We have a lot of PHLers going through a lot right now. I have a lot of people in my personal life going through a lot right now. And this is something also that's kind of sad. Haley's favorite YouTuber was in a serious car accident today, and like she watches him every day. So it's been kind of bad news. So Dev, you have really made my day, right? And the thing about this this other YouTuber is that he's got like a huge following, right? So I hate it. A lot of people are really sad about it. His name's Peter Mon, and he's just a good YouTuber. But yeah, I really needed this, Dev. I really appreciate you. Caleb Jackson is rated higher than Holly. He is the number 7 player in the state from Liberty Magnet. I will check him out tomorrow. All right, let me get my Where'd my notepad go? How can I do my job without my notepad? PLG, unfortunately not. I'm not Haley's favorite YouTuber. It's hard. Once you get this age, PLG, you'll understand. Trey Holly. Yeah, Ronnie, I don't see him as a safety. I don't. I think he's a box player. Now, where he plays in the box is up in the air. There we go. Yeah, it's Tackett Curtis talk. Let's go. Vice Grip Garage. I like that. I've never even watched Vice Grip Garage. There's so many YouTubers out there that are really talented. Vice Grip Garage. That just sounds very interesting. Yeah, PLG, I'm not. If we're being real. I hope I'm her favorite, person that just happens to be a YouTuber. I was Vice Grip Garage. I like that. I just like that name. I'm curious. What do they do on Vice Grip Garage? 70s NASCAR Firebird. Well, they got 1 million subs. Well, these guys are something serious. Vice Grip Garage. The Tennessee Duster. Wow. Johnny 5. Puddin's Fab Shop. That just sounds great. I'm not a big car person. Aaron with the super chat. Look at this. Vice Grip Garage. Look at this. At the Freedom Factory. I like this. Too nice to race? No, no truck's too nice to race. Aaron, you get to pick the next topic. Top 5, you, Blake, OTB, Jordy C, and Hunting Hill. That's tough company to be with right there. All those guys are really talented right there. Shout out to Blake and Jay Hill, though. Those are my two guys. Talk to them pretty often. Haven't texted Jay Hill this week. Need to check in on him after. I know he's pretty devastated after Sunday. He really wanted to see his Bengals win. But, I talk to Blake daily. Brandon Carter, you should host a Power Hour fishing tournament for them Bayou boys. So this is a funny thing, Brandon, is I would do that if I myself have been able to go fishing. We have had real professional bass fishermen on here, and they have still yet to reach out to me to go fishing. I want to go fishing with some real pros to show them how it's really done. And by showing them how it's really done, I mean, I don't know what the F I'm doing when it comes to fishing. Johnny, what's good? Aaron, you get to pick the next topic. Vice Grip Garage. I like it. PLG Fishing. Yeah, but you're 15. You can't even drive a boat. I need somebody that can take me fishing. I want to hold a tarpon the size of my body. Aaron also comes in hot. There he is with his lovely wife. And every time Aaron joins the channel, he gives me a good let's go. PLG says I'm 13. I can't drive a car with parental. Huh? Who's going to take me fishing? But how am I going to go fishing if I don't have Sperry's? If I don't have one of those Columbia teal fishing shirts with the fish net? I don't have any visors. I don't have any Costas. I don't have any ice chest. You know, to go fishing, gotta have an ice chest. I don't have any bait. I don't have any hooks. I don't. Checking on the poll question. 2 out of every 3 of you believe LSU will be a top 3 team. If you mean go boat riding, throw a cork out, and drink some beer, I fish. Ha, ha, ha. Knowing my luck, I'll go fishing, and next thing you know, I'm recreating the Life of Pi movie, and it's just me and a tiger on a boat. Brandon says, just wear your Crocs. I'm all about it, baby. Jared, Johnny, and the lovely girlfriend, Gail. Come to Texas. You don't even need the boat. There's 10-pounders everywhere. Have an idea, Carter. If anytime possible, how we review our former high school football players on the channel and discuss if any of us would be SEC worthy. That'd be fun. Yeah, Aaron, if you have game tape and you want me to watch your tape and tell you if I think you would have been SEC worthy, it kind of makes me feel bad because all my game footage was deleted when I was in high school. And for me to walk on somewhere, I needed my actual high school game footage because nobody was going to take a 5'7", 180-pound defensive tackle unless I had immaculate game tape. Now, I did have 7 sacks my senior year, but still, I would have needed game tape. So, yeah. Yeah, Aaron, if you have game tape and you want me to watch your game tape, I'll give you an honest review. See if Brian Kelly would want a hot tub time machine back, and see if Aaron would be a Aaron, I'm guessing you were a running back or linebacker. Just bring Dynamite Carter. You know it's true. Jesse, good to see you. So, Aaron, with your super chat here, I will look at your game tape. There's no telling if I'm actually going to make a video of it. PHL word of the day: initiate. She ate a cake. Initiate a double cheeseburger. And then, oh, okay. Yeah, King Ulysses is not in here. The Denver hot tub time machine. Jesse, you missed everything. In fact, Jesse, should we tell Jesse this, guys? I don't know. I'll say it anyway. So, Jesse, Leonard Fournette was actually hanging out in the chat earlier, but you missed it. You missed it. Booga Nation himself was in here, Jesse, and you missed it. You guys, I said it when Leonard dropped in the chat. Um, you know, uh, I said, "Oh my God, Jesse's like your biggest fan. Like he's like really Leonard Fournette's like by far his favorite." Y'all tell everyone, Brandon, you missed it too. Y'all tell everyone how crazy it was. Leonard Fournette was in here earlier. Can't believe y'all missed that. Uh-oh. Here we go, guys. Aaron says, I was an all-district quarterback, defensive back, kick returner, punt returner, popcorn salesman. He even was the drum major at halftime. He also happened to be the captain of the cheerleading squad. He also happened to be the mascot. He also happened to be the next door neighbor of the coach, and he helped the coach make the game plan every night. Aaron was also the point guard, the LeBron James of the basketball team. He was the pitcher of the baseball team, and he threw only complete games. I mean, Aaron, there is a statue of Aaron in Baker, Louisiana, in case you've never been there. Leonard Fournette said, okay, I've won a Super Bowl ring. We know this is the best YouTube channel. And he actually took down the address of everybody in this channel, signed jerseys, personalized it. And then, I said, Leonard, can you do an extra one for Jesse? And he said, no, I'm actually out of jerseys. A gloating little guy that still lives in his past. Ha. Well, Aaron, you do that because you super chatted. If anyone does have a connect to Leonard Fournette, tell him we would love to have Booger Nation himself on the show. Even if it was only for 5 minutes, I would love for Leonard Fournette, one of the biggest stars, not one of the biggest LSU players of all time, one of the biggest stars in college football. It was tough, right? It's tough to live up to the hype that he had, but he did, right? Not a statue, but there is a really nice painting. Sure. A painting. Tony, the Master Blaster. The Master Blaster. Don't forget, guys, like the video, please. Tony, you get to pick the next topic. Super stickers are not bad, Jared. Quit hating. Do we have a shot at Arch Manning? Yes. Is it great? I don't know. Wait till LSU is looking to add a QB. I'm not sure. I would guess They're open to all options if you have 4 slots remaining. Leonard Fournette? Yeah, I guess, my question to Leonard Fournette is why did you quit on an undefeated team when you were playing? Like, his playing time, I think, was going to get cut in half because he wasn't, playing all that great. But yeah, I would have stuck it out. We're an undefeated team. We could win the title. So Tony says, "What's up with all the transfers?" I'm guessing you mean actually clarify this question. I'll answer it the best I can. Yeah, I could see I have another video pointed up. Oh, the dancing is great. Why are you hating on this dancing? What is this? It's a lemon with maracas. I like that. Are you anti lemons dancing with maracas, Jared? Yes, we do have a chance to get Sting, the offensive tackle from Vanderbilt. Mo Funky was in here earlier. There is a connection between LSU and Sting. I don't know where Danny is. What's up with all the transfers? Oh, the transfer targets in the portal. So, Kari Coleman, defensive end out of New Orleans. I'm sure he's on LSU's radar. Entered the portal from TCU. I do think he'll end up going to Texas, where his former coach became an analyst. But I could see him also choosing LSU. Now, the Tyler Steen offensive tackle prospect is very interesting. So, yeah, we'll see. He would start right away. Noah Cain will be a top 5 SEC back this year. I don't know about all that. I hope you're right, though. Birchman says, I'm no Arch Manning fan. Enough said. I don't know why. I can understand saying that we don't need Arch Manning, but the one thing I don't get is why. There seems to be some animosity towards Arch Manning for whatever reason. Let's see. Jahmyr Gibbs, Tank Bigsby, Texas A&M's Archain, and whoever UGA has. So it's not impossible. What is Chris Rodriguez coming back for Kentucky? But yeah, it's not impossible either way, right? Arkansas's Rocket Sanders, I think he's really good. And whoever Lane Kiffin has a running back is going to put up numbers too. They call that tagging in the graffiti world? I still can't get over this. Aaron super chatted just so he could talk about his high school glory days. Hey, if you super chat, we could pull up your high school soccer stats. Oh yeah, Zach Evans at Ole Miss. Yeah, he's special. He's really good. Tommy says we have Walker Howard, and Arch is no Walker Howard. Get rid of the Manning last name, and Arch is it the number one player in the country or QB? Rodney, this is a good question. You have to choose a chance to recruit Falk or Fournette. Who would you choose? They were both like the highest rated players in the country when they were coming out. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Kev Falk was a legend at Karen Crow, and Fournette was a legend at St. Aug. I guess both of them. I guess I would recruit both of them. Jesse asks a good question here. Is there a chance to get more than one QB in the class of 2023? Yeah. I mean, there's always a chance you can get more than one. I think the bigger question, though, is will LSU get one at all? So, yeah. So we'll see. So, Carter, I don't know your opinion on it. Is Arch legit, or is he a 4-star with a Manning name attached to it? I think he's good. I do. I mean, he makes some throws that are really, really special. But, is he my number one quarterback in 2023? No. There we go. So let me see. Is that a Benny Logan jersey? What do we have going on here? Aaron, let me know what you got going on here. Do you think we can flip Jayden Osbury? So let me get this straight. Osbury, I know there's brothers, right? So there was a safety in the class of 2022 signed with Auburn. And then there's a linebacker who's a top 100 player in 2023. Is he committed to Auburn? I don't know. I really don't. But yeah. It's you and Benny Logan. That's cool. Look at that. That's such a cool jersey, too. But yeah, I think both Osberries have a good chance of ending up at LSU, right? You go to Auburn and the whole thing melts down. We'll see. I think Austin Osbury is the defensive back who signed, and Jayden Osbury is the linebacker from U High for 2023. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, there's still so much time between now and then. And I don't think it's over for Austin Osbury to end up coming back to LSU, where his dad, of course, is a third or fourth in command at LSU, Verge. That's cool. Look at that. Benny Logan. That's pretty dope. Dang, JB78 is the third person tonight that has randomly said we're going to beat Bama next year. I like that. We need to sign an elite corner. Got to go get Tony Mitchell. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about Tony Mitchell. Let me see. Okay, Tony Mitchell, corner class of 2023, is currently a 5-star out of Alabaster, Alabama. I know. I believe Nick Saban signed a kid from Alabaster this last cycle. Sure. Once again, it's still so early for 2023 that I'm currently just doing Louisiana evals. I looked at Trey Holly yesterday. Obviously, I like Trey Holly a lot. I looked at Tackett Curtis today. Very interesting prospect. I do think, the way they use him at Manning High School is going to be different than, how the college game is played. But obviously, really talented kid himself. Arch is good, but he's not the number one QB or player in the country. That's fair. $12 votes and 66% of you think we're going to be Bama next year. We're going to be Bama every time for 10 years. I like it. There you go, Reed. Good to see you. Reed, you've been cheating on me with other channels. I see you. LSU 2023 recruit breakdown. There we go. LSU should recruit Ricky Collins and develop him behind Walker Howard. I'm a Ricky Collins believer. I think we're working on getting Ricky Collins on this channel. I know some of his inner circle watches our channel pretty regularly. I know his youth pastor does. When was the last time we beat Bama at home? It was indeed 2010. So 2012 was the Yeldon game. 2014 was the another overtime loss. 2016 was the 10-0 Jalen Hurts game. 2018 was the 29-0 game. 2020 was another beatdown. So for me, of course, I want to beat them, but I would like to at least make it competitive. I'm interested in thinking, is this 2022 Bama going to be better than 2020 Bama? I mean, they're going to be, them and Ohio State are going to be such heavy favorites going into next year over everybody else. It's going to be crazy. So I think next year's top 5 will be Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, potentially Michigan. And then after that, I don't know. Is Ricky Collins related to Cecil? I don't know. Good Lord, you have all those games in your head. And I mean, that's what I do, baby. Modern era LSU football, I'll feed my family. Thanks to y'all's generosity. I wouldn't be able to do it if you guys didn't watch the channel and subscribed. And once again, I say this every time, I'm looking at it, each and every one of you. Okay? I want you right now to think of somebody that is a diehard LSU football fan. Share them this channel. They might like it, they may not, right? But the most important thing to do on top of that is subscribe, be there for me, and make sure We're having great live streams. You're out on Jarek Bernard Converse. He's a number 2 corner, not ready for the SCS. 2012 was a McCarron and TJ Yeldon play. 2014 was the Blake Sims game, which we also lost in overtime. So, yeah. I shared with my buddy Woody. That's such a great name, Woody. Offer numbers right there. And they're going to sign each and every one of them. Yeah, Reed, it's kind of funny. I haven't really shared my opinion on Jayden Daniels. So, we talked about him at the beginning, right? We just more so talked about LSU's quarterback situation. So, Jayden Daniels has a really good arm. Is it like special? Not really, right? Look, I like Herm Edwards, the person. I don't think of him, though, as a modern college football coach, right? They weren't aggressive on fourth down. They would play very conservatively at times, and I think that would hurt Jayden Daniels, who's probably best suited with a progressive, wide-open offense, right? So, the offensive coordinator situation there was always kind of weird. Arizona State, just a few times I watched them, they had good running backs, but not much else. So, yeah, I like them fine. Obviously decision-making was an issue, the interceptions. It just wasn't something that just excites you too much. But we'll see. Carter, why do you think Ohio State FIs can get that chip? I know it's not talent so this leads me to believe Ryan Day is overrated. Weird question, I know. Yeah, so I'll say this. I do think Ryan Day deserves a little bit more credit for helping out Urban Meyer, modernizing his offense. And Ryan Day has a really interesting and productive vertical passing game offense. It's a really fun offense to watch. They put up a lot of points. They stretch you. They give you a bunch of different looks. It's very quarterback friendly as well. You just have to have a quarterback who is talented enough to run it. Their wide receivers are going to be really good, right? They're going to have Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got Marvin Harrison's son and a bunch of other 5 stars. So, yeah, defensively, I don't know what they're going to do, but I do think they get a huge step up in their defensive coordinator with Jim Knowles coming in, who was arguably the best defensive coordinator in college football last year. I'm glad he went to Ohio State because it helped us get Bernard Converse. So, yeah, we'll see. But, I do think Ryan Day is good enough to win a championship, but I also think in close game scenarios, his coaching can get very shaky. And that's part of the difference, though, when you don't play many close games like Ohio State does, because they're so much better than everyone that they play. 865 in the hizzy. Jayden Daniels looked different with Brandon Ayuk. It looked explosive with him in the offense. The other kid that went to the Patriots. N'Keal Harry? Was that the year before Jayden Daniels became the starter? I know he was with Ayuk. But yeah. What's up, Paris? Paris back in here. Paris will watch this for 5 minutes, go do something else. Carter say LSU should take him just because he is a bridge QB for walk around and let him and Miles and Nuts battle it out. So there you go. Steal my kisses from you. I was cooking. Oh, Paris. Especially knowing at the end of every single video I do, I always share what I'm having for dinner. Paris, you can't say I was cooking and you not say what you're cooking. Right? Every other channel on the planet wouldn't care. But this is a channel full of foodies, right? So people need to know, Paris, what you got on the stove or in the air fryer or in the microwave. Oh, Duke is playing right now? And Paris is in our live chat? Look at that. Look at you, Paris. Look at you. Look at you. Shrimp and cheese grits? Paris, you're on the East Coast. That is a bold meal at 11:56 on a school night. That is bold right there. Shrimp and cheese grits at 11:56 Eastern. It's about to be breakfast on the East Coast. I love it. Let's go, SMC. Once again, I love your Abby. Hoodat and the lovely dogs. Yeah, Max, On Tuesday, we had over 100 viewers and the stripper bots came in. So since we've been floating at around 61 to like 70, no stripper bots tonight. No school for my kids today or tomorrow. Master Blaster, nobody cares about carbs. Are you kidding me? This is an LSU channel where the host himself is chubby. Carbs aren't in the picture. Zoe. I like Zoe. I do. Zoe. Our dog's name is Z. So Zoe. Dogs' names that begin with the letter Z is just perfect. I like Zoe. I freaking love it. Take a photo of Zoe. You have your big meal last. Carbs are not the devil. Carbs are what makes the world go round. Tony, if you were at the Last Supper, would you have told Jesus, hey, carbs, trust me, 2,000 years from now, there's going to be studies that shows that this is going to kill you. Is that what you would have said at the Last Supper? Jesus Cristo, stop it, these carbs. Carbs are not the devil. In fact, carbs is what the goats ate. Carter deleted the porn bots before I could get the link. Tony has the Rock diet, where the Rock eats like 15 pounds of cod every day, no seasoning. Let me just stuff my face with fish that have no taste. I'm not extreme like that. I have to admit, I do need to lose some weight, man. I'm the heaviest I've ever been. This is a comment. Carbs are what makes those big booties we all like. It's true. I mean, has anyone ever said, oh my God, look at that vegan booty over there? No! Carbs, baby. I'm kidding. I'm sure vegans have great rumps as well. I don't know. But still. Tell. Chris saw some Pelicans talk and he said, "Nope, I'm out." Yeah, Chris, shoot me a Twitter DM and we'll work out the cup situation. All right, Max, we'll see you Saturday night. PHL fam. Tony with the super chat. Really good question right here. How do you think all this transfer portal talent will work out for us? Okay. Good question. So let's take a look at transfers at LSU over the past couple of years. Okay. Some of them have turned out to be really good players. Some of them not so great, right? So, you would say LSU's transfers, even though the sample is really small, you would say probably anywhere from a 60 to 75% hit rate. That's just off the top of my head, right? Like Fiocco, Burrow, Cox. So yeah, you've had a lot of good players in the transfer portal, but now it's different, right? Because you have a larger sample and you have more unproven guys coming over. A lot of portal guys are unproven, but you have so many players coming over. Now, this is something that's going to be very key when it comes to portal guys is there is a reason why they left their school. Now, some of them left their schools just to come play home at LSU. Like Joe Fuchsia, if LSU wasn't LSU, he wouldn't have come here. He would have just finished out his career more than likely at Arkansas. Same thing with Greg Brooks, right? And both of them were decent to, at times, great players at Arkansas. Jarek Bernard Converse was an all-conference guy. Mekhi Williams-Gardner was also a really good player. Miles Frazier was an All-American. So you do, Tony, feel better about transfers because they have played. Mekhi Wingo has played. But I will say this, right, Tony, is some of these guys aren't going to move the needle as much as we probably think that they will. And that is very important to keep in mind, right? There are very few needle movers in college football. But sometimes that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for just good to mediocre playable guys. And I would say probably you'll end up seeing 10 out of the 12 guys that have already come over turn out to be playable players, right? Now, this is the big question, Tony, that I think we all need to answer is how many of the guys out of the 12 players that came over are going to be seismic needle movers, right? Is there a likelihood that Wes Weeks turns out to be a Damon Clark, a guy who legit can go out there and win you football games? Can Mekhi Wingo be Neil Farrell? We don't know that, right? There's still what we have to see from them. So the first thing is obviously the transfer portal talent is going to work out for a few reasons. The first is we don't really have a choice. Sometimes the best thing for a transfer or just any kid coming in is a team just desperately needing you to be great. There's going to be immediate playing time one for a lot of these guys right when they step foot on campus. So, as far as who are the most necessary players, obviously, the two offensive linemen, Shorts and Frazier, are both really going to need to be great next year for a unit that is very unproven. And then, I go back to what Reed said a minute ago. Can Jarek Bernard Converse play at the all Big 12 level in the SEC where the receivers are just so much better, right? So we'll see. It's going to be very, very fascinating. Now, obviously, the most important transfer is Miles Brennan, and he's not really a transfer portal guy because he stayed at home. So, Tony, I do think it's going to work out well for LSU. I do think doing this well in the transfer portal will make them a 1 or 2 win better team than what we probably initially thought. Before the transfers came over, LSU was probably a 6 or 7 win team. This does make you feel better about them being an 8 or 9 win team. So it's very important to keep your expectations low because, the good thing is, yes, it is good to see proven transfer guys come over. at the same time, out of all the transfer portal guys that have come over, none of them are like, holy crap, Jarek Bernard-Kahn versus the next Mo Claiborne. None of them are like, holy crap, this is going to absolutely move the needle for us. But a lot of them are solid starters with the potential to take that next step. And I think that's a really good thing. And Tony did renew his season tickets for football. I need to come to a game with you, man. Yeah, Reed, Seven Banks is a very interesting guy. I would like to see LSU make a push. Tony, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So, as we always do, as we approach the 2-hour mark, once again, if you have any LSU-related questions within the next 5 minutes, I'll answer as many as we possibly can. I know some of you wanted to talk about C.J. McCollum. I haven't been able to watch the Pelicans. I know Luka went off tonight on us. That's going to happen. Bertrand says, I'm going to do like the trees and leave and not like the branches and stick around. Bertrand, I appreciate you. I appreciate your service as well. And we'll see you Saturday night, my friend. So, yeah. But, yeah, in the next 5 minutes, I'll answer as many LSU-related questions, non-related questions. It doesn't matter. So, yeah, we'll keep going. But if you do super chat, we'll keep going all night. Spring game, I'll put it back up for you. Right there. Spring game, April 23rd. Master Blaster's going to sleep. Why are you going to sleep so early? Do you think Mike Jones has a breakout year? I hope so. And shout out to my guy Blake at Are You Serious? Getting an NIL deal with Mike Jones. He'll be going on his channel. Shout out to Blake, one of my BFFs. I hope so. He's going to get his opportunity to be that dude next year. Tony's going trucking tomorrow. Please be safe. Those roads can be very, very, very dangerous. To me, at this point, BI is a good. I had a buddy text me about Brandon Ingram. Is a good stats, bad team guy. He's not dynamic enough. But it always seems lost as a Mopey as a 2. Yeah. Dang, Aaron switched it up again. That's Jacob Phillips right there. I could tell that. Jacob Phillips. That was it's a good interview. I don't think Aaron. We'll see him. Well, there you go. But yeah, I am really high on Mike Jones next year. Obviously, his coverage skills, his coverage skills are skills. I can't even say skills. I can't even say skills. His coverage skills are really good. And yeah, I was kind of shocked he didn't play right away. Once again, it goes back to the talent evaluation. Why was Bug Strong playing so much more than Mike Jones when coverage linebackers are what we needed? Oh, AYS for Jones. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't been able to listen to the interview yet because I had college basketball stuff tonight. Let's see here. Yeah, Pegasus. I know we're not a football channel. I know we're not a football channel. I know we're not a basketball channel, but really shout out to Cam Thomas. That shot last night was incredible. If this team depends on Miles, I believe Darnell Washington enters the transfer portal. We got to get him. Kirby has to use him right with Bauer starting. Yeah, Darnell Washington would be a very nice pickup at a position we desperately need. Obviously, Darnell has really high receiving upside. I don't know too much about him, Paris, as a blocker. Maybe you can give me some insight on that. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Paris. Thanks again to all our top super chatters tonight. Jared, King Robert, Paris, Aaron, obviously the Master Blaster at the end, Max. It goes a long way, guys. It really does. Rodney. But yeah, Paris, I'm on the Darnell Washington train. I'm all down with it. Trading Eric Gilbert for Darnell Washington, I'll gladly do that. That's also true, SMC. Cam Thomas is also hungrier than James Harden. Is he going to be James Harden good? Probably not. But at least you get someone hungrier who's going to, and it really says something, knowing Cam Thomas's defense at LSU, but he's going to play better defense than James Harden plays defense because what he was doing at the end of his Brooklyn tenure was pathetic. But yeah, I'm down with it. I really am. I said Cam Thomas is this generation's Carmelo Anthony. I love Cam Thomas, but that's you basically saying Cam Thomas will be a Hall of Famer. I hope you're right. Guys, we're beating Bama. Adrian, what's good? The poll says we are beating Bama. I'm all about it. I do see the similarities, though, as far as just go get me a bucket. It is kind of crazy Cam slid the way that he did, though, right? Well, all right, guys. Paris, thank you for the super chat to end this live stream. We will see you Saturday night for another fun live stream right here. PHL Nation, PHL fam, let's go. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Tonight, some Al Pastor tacos. Let's go. Let's go.